Good afternoon. My name is Nikki Kabaso from the United Kingdom. I want to just do a short recording, but before we dive into that, I just want to say thank you to those that sent some encouraging words. Thank you even to those who cannot just understand that in this life people have to have diverse views, and all they do is to send insults. I honestly appreciate both sides, but I want to encourage those that always want to use insults. That let's reason together. Let's find a better way to communicate. We are all Zambians. We are one people. Let's love one another, especially that we are a Christian nation. I have the right to think the way I think, and people should allow and appreciate the diversity of thought. I want us to talk about two things, and I'll be very short. We've seen the incidences that has happened in Kenya, and as I was going through some things on Facebook. I noticed one political party, which I will not name, they were saying utunensu to Kenya. It's like they're trying to show people that this is what you can envy, this is what you can emulate. I have nothing against peaceful protest. It's part of democracy. You will find that in democracy, people have the right to protest in a peaceful way. But protest that incites people to burn property, to destroy things, such protest should not be tolerated. When you see such things happen, and when you see there's some leaders, I want you to take note of this. There's some political leaders who, for some reason, probably maybe it's the hate that they have towards President Hakainde Hichilema, it's the hate that they may have towards the UPND government, all they sit and wish for is that something negative may happen to Zambia. It is sad. It is sad. And these are people that claim to be very strong Christians. Let me give you an example. In the Bible, there was two women that were fighting for a child. And these two women, they went to King Solomon, and they said, each of them was claiming, this is my child. And King Solomon said, bring a knife, bring a sword, let's split the child in two. A test of a heart. A person whose heart was pure said, don't kill the child. A person whose heart was evil said, you know what? Let's kill the child so that none of us can have. There are some political leaders in Zambia whose intention is, even if it means Zambia goes on flames, they don't care. They would hate someone, sorry to say, they would hate somebody, it may be the president or be a minister or someone, they hate them so much that they would wish that something negative happens to Zambia. I want to ask you this. This is where we should test people. If you look at these two women, one said, no, don't kill the child. There are some people in Zambia, some political leaders in Zambia, whose prayer day and night is to wait for something bad to happen. For them, a drought was a prayer answered. For them, when there was cholera, was a prayer answered. That is how they think. Because they hate President Hakainde Hichilema so much that they always wish for something bad to happen. But what shocks me, they're always in change. They're always in change. And they claim to be more Christians than President Hakainde Hichilema. But their hate is so visible. You can see that they've got anger, they've got bitterness. Beloved Zambians, this is how we should test leaders. Any leader that is ready to put Zambia on fire, any leader that is going to incite violence just because they want to get into power, they should not be trusted with the reins of power at all. So any leaders, especially to the youths, anyone that comes and incites violence, don't trust such leaders. We must also start to check the way they talk. You know, sometimes I tend to think that there are some political parties in Zambia who violence, insults, divisions, tribalism is part of the constitution, but it's just not written. Because look at their leaders. Look at the meeting that happened in Kitwe. Look at the way people were talking. Okay, such people should not be trusted at all. A true leader can even put his self-interest aside so that he can put the interest of a nation at heart. I was so pleased to hear President Hakainde Hichilema inviting even those, I don't know if it's UKA or UKWA leaders to say, come on, if you have a solution, bring it on the table. But I can tell you this, you will not hear one of them bring the solution on the table. Why? Because they don't have. That's why with them, one of the things you will notice is insults, this and that. I've always said that. Let me encourage those of us that support UPND. Okay. Let me encourage you with something. Don't fight your enemy in their territory where they're strong. Fight them in their weakness. What do I mean? If you take up PF and all these political parties in violence, insults, name calling, they will beat you to it because that is where they're very good. But if you take them in the territory of what are we going to do tomorrow? What is the plan for Zambia? There you will beat them because there is no agenda, there is no plan. So I want to encourage Zambians, anyone that comes and incites violence, do not support them. The second point I want us to look at is the church and politics. We have lovely men and women of Zambia, lovely men and women of God in Zambia, lovely men and women of God in Zambia. Okay. But I want to just show you something, beloved. There's a group of people that realize that during the COVID era and during these times of difficulties, pastors, churches do not have as much offering as they used to have before. So they take advantage of that space. They go in and give. You remember these people in Pompwe, they have stolen money. So they can go in and give large sums of money. And you know, I'm not bashing our men of God. These men and women of God are human beings. They've got school fees they need to pay. They've got families they need to take care of. They've got bills they need to handle. So sometimes, because of the sufferings that they may go through, they compromise. Remember, I'm telling you that, I'm sharing with you that this is about Pompwe. Pompwe is somebody that steals. Well, Pompwe moves with large amounts of money. I was told by somebody, reliably told by somebody, that Ababa Pompwe, people are even wishing they come to visit their churches. You know why? Because when they go there, they go with a lot of money that they stole before. Now, what is the solution? Let us not leave our men and women of God to be vulnerable to this Pompwe. We can't blame them. You can't blame some, as long as bad as prostitution is, you can't blame a woman who's a prostitute, a man who's doing something bad on the street to make a living. So the best way before you condemn that person is to find a solution. Not that I'm encouraging prostitution, but there are people that do bad things because they don't know what to do tomorrow. So as Zambians, maybe as the government, our advice to our New Dawn government is to sit down and maybe have an office that deals with this, our men and women of God. For example, in the United Kingdom, we have what they call a charity commission. This charity commission looks at the plights of churches, what people have, what people have. They look at such things, and when they look at these things, these are the things that they help to give grants to the churches, different things to support them as they move in their work. So probably we would suggest to our government that instead of leaving our men and women of God in the hands of Pompwe, Balebapela stolen money, let us find a way that we can support these people. Not only that, do you know that most Zambians go into churches? Most Zambians are Christians. So if we stabilize our men and women of God by having a support system for them, whether they receive tithe, whether they receive no offerings, there is a support system for them. I know the country is going through difficult times. It will prevent this Vapompo to go in churches and lie to our men and women of God. Do you know that most of these men and women of God, they know that when these guys go, they bring division, they bring confusion, they bring all the inside. They know that some of the things they do is wrong. But guess what? The brown envelopes. So we have to find a way to prevent These our men and women of God being vulnerable from this. I'm not saying all of them, but some of them, they know that when this Wapompwe comes, it increases their tithe, it increases their offering, it increases a lot of things. So to protect the integrity of our men and women of God, we need to find a solution, a support system for them, so that even if there is an outbreak like when there was COVID, they don't have to depend on offering. They don't have to depend on. In fact, a stable church means a stable Zambia. A stable church will mean a stable Zambia, because our men and women of God are the ones that go in and preach the peace, preach unity to the Zambian people. Lastly, I just want to say once more, let us guard the peace that God has given us. Let no man invite us to do anything. I know that in the coming months, I hate that there are some people who are organizing themselves to protest because of electricity. I have no right to condemn if it's done peacefully, if it doesn't infringe. But remember, there are people who will take advantage and bring their own confusion in those gatherings so that they can set Zambia on fire. Let us be on the lookout. Anybody that comes to us and incite us to do something negative, let us catch such people out. Thank you very much.